Hey, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with day 5 of the Chronic Painkillers Challenge. Day 5 already. So, did you move yesterday? How did that work out for you? Did you try to do something? And even if you couldn't physically move, did you at least visualize and imagine in your mind that you were moving and being able to move freely? If you did it, awesome. If you didn't do it, I guess I would like to ask why not, and then go ahead and comment in the comments below this video and let me know what's holding you back from actually trying the daily challenges and doing these daily challenges, because they're kind of like math. They're cumulative. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, they add upon each other, and by the end of the 30 days, they make a massive, dramatic, exponential difference in your life. And you don't even hardly know it's happening, because it's happening and becoming a habit and just slowly changing the way your mind and your body and your spirit, everything thinks and feels and works together. So today, day 5, what do you got today, Sharon? Can hear you asking me. Today is all about why, the question why. And the question why is probably one of the most powerful questions that you can ever ask yourself. And there's an exercise, and it will be part of our challenge for today, called the 5 whys. And I have no idea at this point in my life where I learned about the 5 whys, because I've used it so often and so long. And it's one of those tools and those strategies that doesn't just work for our health, but it works for everything in our lives. If I am starting a new career, or if I want to get a job, or if I want to do anything, one of the first things I'll do is I'll ask myself, well, why? Why do I want that job? Why do I want to have this experience, or go to this concert, or see my kids, or travel to a place? If I ask myself why, and then if I ask myself a series of whys, 5 or more usually gets me to 5 usually gets you to where you need to go, but sometimes it takes more than 5. And I'll give an example of this with respect to our chronic pain, and my chronic pain in particular. But asking a series of whys gets us down to the emotion and the feeling and the real reason that we do anything. I mean, when you ask somebody, why do you want to make money? Well, they think that that should be obvious, and everybody wants to make money will be what they say. Well, then why does everybody want to make money? Well, everybody wants to make money so that they can take care of themselves and those people they love and care about. Well, why do you want to be able to take care of the people, well, yourself? Well, so I don't have to depend on the government or others to take care of me. Well, why do you not want the government or others to take care of you? Well, so I feel independent. Well, why do you want to feel independent? So that I have the freedom to do what I want to do, when I want to do, with who I want to do it. Well, why do you want to have the freedom to do what you want to do, when you want to do, with who you want to do it? And then I would say, because that makes me feel loved and in control of my life. Why do you want to be in control of your life and feel loved? Well, we all want to feel loved. I want to always feel loved. And what this series of why questions does is it gets you down to the real reason, the real feeling, because we're all actually driven by and motivated by our feelings and our emotions. All of us. So this 5 why series gets us down through the superficial, materialistic, physical things that we think are the reasons we're doing something, and it gets us down to the real reasons we're doing something. And it works for everything. Of course, I'm going to challenge you to do this in your life, but I want to share an example with my pain and pain killing. But it's an extremely powerful tool for whatever you want to do. So another thing I want to mention about this is the whole thought and belief, the whole knowing that the quality of the questions we ask in our life determines the quality of the results and the outcomes and the answers that we get. For example, and this is a very personal example, we all have an overriding question in our life. And for a long time, I was running through my life. I was being a workaholic. I was running several businesses. I was super duper stressed out. I was struggling in my marriage. I was, being a mom and all these other things that were putting a ton of stress and pressure in my life. And my go-to question was WTF. If you don't know what WTF stands for, it's what the fuck. Naughty word, but That was my subconscious underlying question that ran all of the time in my head. Now, that's not a very empowering question. And that actually ended up in me having a sudden cardiac arrest and dying. And I didn't even realize that that was my overriding go-to question until I learned about overriding go-to questions from Tony Robbins after that event happened in my life. And I was trying to figure out, well, why the heck did this happen to me? Why did I actually die? And then, more importantly, why am I still here? Because that's more important than the whole one event and recovering from that. The why am I still here is a much better and bigger question. But what I learned and did, and this all is going back to the quality of the question comment, I knew that I needed a better, more empowering question for me to be driving my life than WTF. Now, I will admit I fall into the WTF trap every once in a while. When something weird outside of me happens, I gotta say WTF. But it isn't my overriding life-controlling question like it used to be. I created a new question, and now my question is, what am I creating now? So when something's happening around me, I ask myself, I stop, and in my subconscious, I try to keep this question going all the time. What am I creating now? Now, what am I creating now is a lot more powerful question than WTF. What am I creating now allows me to stop whatever I'm doing, and if something's working out, how do I create more of that? And if what I'm doing isn't working, it allows me to stop and say, is this the result? And is this really what I want in my life? Am I creating what I want? And that really helped me in arguments with my ex-husband. Now, I'm divorced now, so I'm not sure. I guess I created that. But what am I creating now allowed me to be in the middle of an argument and stop and say, what am I creating now? Is this what I want? Do I want to be sitting here arguing over something so insignificant that doesn't really matter and isn't going to matter, a week from now? No. So I stopped, and I was able then to stop myself because I asked a better question. So that's a big sideline on why the quality of our questions is so important. Now, an example of this is, I can ask the question, why? And let's talk about the question, why me? Because we all of us in chronic pain, ask ourselves this question all the time. At least I know I do. Why me? Why today? Why is this happening now? Because how often do you have a bad flare day or a bad pain day on a day that you really want to do something, you want to participate in an event that you've really been looking forward to, and you're laid up flat in bed because you can't get out of bed today? And that's when I find myself asking myself the question, why me? Now, this might anger a lot of you and piss you off, but the fact is, we don't want to, when we ask ourselves the why me question, it's usually from, I'm feeling sorry for myself, I don't deserve this, why does this always happen to me, why am I always in pain? And the truth of the matter is, as painful as it is to look at, is only I know why me. And I might not know why me on a conscious level. And things happen to all of us for an absolute reason. And a lot of times we don't understand them at the time. But until we figure out what and why is causing the pain in our lives, nothing changes. And asking the question, why me, it can either be an empowering question or it can be a really disempowering question. If I'm asking why me and feeling sorry for myself and coming up with a bunch of excuses and feelings of this isn't fair, life isn't fair, I don't deserve this, I'm a good person, why am I always, getting screwed? It's a very disempowering question. It can be flipped around and made a super empowering question, because if I'm willing to look at my life and try to figure out what my pain is trying to show me, I now claim and retake back my power, and I have the ability to think about that differently, change that, and actually kill the pain that's affecting me the most in my life. And over these next 30 days, I hope I can convince you, I know I will convince you of that, and show you how you can do that in your own life. But right now, it might not be the best idea to ask the why question, why me? Because you might not be ready to really answer that or really understand that question without it creating more negative emotion than positive. And the whole purpose of us asking the why question and today's activity and the 5 whys is to get at the real reason, the real motivating force that wants you and me to kill chronic pain in my life and your life. So again, why does this always happen to me? We need to turn that into a question of, why do I want the pain to go away now? Why do I want to be without chronic pain? Why do I want to live pain-free? Those are much better questions than, why does this always happen to me? Why do I always have a flare day on a day that I want to do something fun? There's a reason, but sometimes you have to dig really deep to find out and ask yourself, and if you're brave, you'll ask yourself, why does this always happen to me? Why do I always get a pain flare day on a day that I'm supposed to do something with the kids and the husband? That used to happen to me. I mean, if I'm being brutally honest, my chronic pain would flare up when the kids and I and the ex-husband were going to do something usually active and fun. And I would end up with debilitating pain, but it was because I needed to see something I didn't want to look at in my life at that time. And by hurting and having pain, it gave me a legitimate reason to not participate in a particular activity that I really didn't probably want to do. I probably didn't want to go on a 5-mile hike back then, or I probably didn't want to go climb rocks or something that I thought was physically challenging. And instead of telling the ex-husband, I don't want to do that, can we do something else, and offering up something else, I would have a flare day and I wouldn't be able to participate. And so the kids and the ex would go do that activity without me. And what I learned is that I needed to be honest with myself and with the people around me that I love and care about. And I had to really be upfront and say, no, I don't want to do that. And what's really interesting about that is when I did find my own voice, when I did reclaim my power, when I did speak up for myself and really tap into what was right for me, I didn't have those flare days on special occasion days anymore. Anyway, that again, another aside. I do talk too much, but this is me. So why? 5 whys. The activity I'm going to have you do and challenge you to do today is ask yourself a series of 5 whys to get down to the absolute raw emotion of why you want to be without chronic pain, why you want to kill chronic pain in your life. So let me give you an example of, why do I want to be pain-free? So I'd ask myself, why do I want to be pain-free? Or why do I want to kill chronic pain in my life? Why do I want to kill chronic pain in my life? I would say so that I can be normal. I just want to be normal and do what other people take for granted. Well, why do I want to be normal? So again, I can do what other people take for granted, and they just seem to effortlessly go through their lives living. I want to be able to do that too. So why do I want to be able to go through my life and be normal and do what other people do? Well, so that I can have friends and relationships. And then why do I want to have relationships and friends? Well, so that I won't feel so lonely. Well, why do I not want to feel so lonely? Well, so that I know that I'm loved and that I matter and that I'm worthy of love. So we've now gotten down to love. So the real reason that I want to be pain-free and I want to kill chronic pain in my life is not so I can envy other people and be normal, because to be honest, I don't really want to be normal. Never have been, never want to be normal. But I do want to be loved. So now by asking that series of why questions, I've broken down and gotten down to the real motivating force for me in my life. I don't want to be pain-free just for the sake of being pain-free and to live an average normal life. I want to do it because I want to be and know that I'm loved and not be lonely and all the other things that happen along the way when you have chronic pain. So I don't know if I did a good job of that example or not, because when you work it in your life, you're going to get different answers. And I would say go with the first why that pops into your head and break that one down and then do another one. Because when I say, why do I want to kill chronic pain in my life? I get a whole lot of answers. I get, I don't want to miss out on, or I want to participate in the activities that other people get to participate in, mostly the people I love and care about, AKA my family. I do want to climb rocks. I do want to go out in nature. I do want to hang out with them. I just didn't want to hang out with the ex-husband. Okay, sorry, painful confession. But when I ask myself that question, I'm not going to just get one answer of why do I want to kill chronic pain in my life. I get about 20. And what I like to do is break down a few of those. And what you're going to find is that you get down to just a couple of emotions at the bottom of this exercise all the time. And this works for everything. It's not just, okay, I could say, why do I want to make money? Well, I want to buy fancy cars and toys. Why do I want to buy fancy cars and toys? Because I want to, look good in the eyes of my family. Why do I want to look good in the eyes of my family? Well, because when I was a kid, they always put me down or judged me. Well, why? Then you get into why do I even care? It's a whole other can of worms. But the point is, it works for anything. Killing chronic pain, having relationships in your life, making money or making a living, whatever it is, you can break this down. And it'll always break down to several positive emotions. It always breaks down to positive emotions. And if you get down to, and I remember from day 2, I don't want, no or not, flip those around, because on the opposite side of those are the positive emotion that you really, really want. And it's really the driver in the core of your being. And that's what we want to get to. And it's almost always love, feeling worthy, and deserving, or one of those emotions, or being appreciated, or making a contribution. Almost all the 5 whys will break down to one of those core values. But it'll show you your core values and what's really, really important to you. So why not do this? Why not hop on this right now? And it only takes a couple of seconds. Believe me, it takes me way longer to explain this than it does to actually do it and put it to work in your life. Why? Why not? Again, why not? I want to ask you, why not? If you're not doing the daily exercises, I challenge you to ask yourself a series of why questions, and why not? Why not do this 30-day challenge and actually do the activities and commit to yourself feeling better? And guess what? This works for why not too. You'll find out why not and why you're not doing something or not feeling something if you ask yourself a series of whys. And again, you might not like the answer. I mean, I ask myself, why am I not more organized? And why am I not organizing and selling my house? Well, I don't like to think about it on the conscious level, but if I ask myself that series of questions, I know the answer. And that one boils down to fear. So if you ask why not, it usually boils down to worry, doubt, or fear. If you ask why, it usually leads to love, appreciation, contribution, gratitude, making a difference, being important, being worthy, increasing your status, those type of things. So do this today. Right now, stop what you're doing, take a minute, and ask yourself, why? Why do I want to kill chronic pain in my life? Why? And see what comes up. And whatever comes up, ask that answer why. Well, why do I want that? Well, why do I want that? And I guarantee you'll get down to your core root motivation. And I want you to share that in the comments below. You don't have to share all your whys in the whole process, but share the one thing that you get down to so that we can all see how much alike we are. Even though all of our pain is different and we all feel things differently, down at the core, we're all human beings and we're all driven by emotion. And what we'll find is there's only a handful of emotions that are driving our whys. And those are all the same. Even though all of our experiences and everything that we're dealing with our chronic pain is different, our why are almost all the same. So go out, find out why, and I will see you tomorrow with day 6 of the Painkillers Challenge. Have an awesome pain-free day. Bye.